And it's Hayes moving forward, Dan.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya Caldwell.
Something has happened. The flag is up. What are the officials saying, Diane?
The officials will say they will continue play as that goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries.
It looks like a dildo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a dildo.
Sonny, can you stop saying dildo, please?
And you can see the object.
It is. It's a big green dildo.
Sonny, stop saying dildo on the air.
The object comes, that green thing bounces, and it goes to the sideline.
Don't say anything, Donny.
We're not exactly we're not sure where it came from.
Probably from a sex shop, Diane.
Oh, for God's sake.
We have reached meme levels never before thought possible. The markets, I'm not kidding. There is now an official betting market on whether or not a neon green toy will be thrown onto the court at WNBA games. You can now bet based on whether or not someone's going to chuck a dong onto the court. I'm not kidding you. Now, of course, you can basically bet on anything, but here you have, announcing dildo dailies. You can bet on which days they're going to hit an NBA court. Right now, let's see. Well, it just shifted. So 44% chance of a dong hitting a court today, $30,000 in volume. There's about $100,000 bet. I imagine it comes in each day. This is amazing in every conceivable way. The WNBA is a joke. And you know what? It's mostly because of people like this. Here's Diana Taurasi talking about not getting paid enough.
I'm the best player in the world, and I have to go to a communist country to get paid like a capitalist.
Playing in Europe during the WNBA's offseason, these women were going for 7 or 8 months. They were chasing their value.
One time I came back and I was like, man, my parents have just gotten older, and I've missed a big part of it.
Why, you were gone for 3 months? This perpetual victimhood narrative is why everyone's throwing dildos at you.
We weren't making that much money, so generational wealth was coming from going to Russia every year. Now we have to come back home and get paid nothing to play in a harder league.
Well, you aren't being paid nothing. The average salary, let's look up. Average WNBA salary, $147,000 a year, and refers to that as nothing. This is up from $113,000 in 2013 or 23. So 2 years ago, you were making $113,000 a year plus, obviously, any endorsements, autographs, merch, sales, all that stuff on top of that. I'm not saying it's anywhere near the NBA, but I'm also saying no one gives a rip about the WNBA.
In worse conditions.
You see how empty these crowds are? There's like 7 people watching the game.
Against the best competition in the world, the fucking janitor at the arena made more than me.
Well, the janitor was more, the janitor's job was more in demand. I mean, you have clear charts. Diana Taurasi complains that the janitors make more than her. I don't know who advises women athletes, but ripping other people's salaries as a way to justify your own is simply an awful look. Makes me personally think they deserve even less than what they get. And that's what I agree. Like, she's disparaging a janitor who probably puts in more hours per week in that stadium than she probably does. I've seen these women. Most of them can't even make wide open layups. I'm not kidding you. I mean, let me see if there's like a montage. Angel Reese missing. I mean, some of the shots this broad misses is bonkers. Where's I probably spelt it wrong, right? It's Reece, I think. Regardless, she leads the league in rebounds mostly because most of her rebounds come on her own misses. She's a terrible basketball player. Most of the people in this league are worse than most high school male athletes at their craft that they claim is, so important. Jason Whitlock, entitlement. There's better ROI on janitors than most WNBA players. That's capitalism, loud, outspoken, entitled idiots. It amazes me that WNBA players do not understand basic profit and loss principles. Even worse, they hate the one player who could actually change how much they're getting paid, which is referring to Caitlin Clark. The janitorial staff hasn't lost the company $20 million a year on average. Ask her plus other top WNBA players to pool their money from endorsement contracts and divide it equally with other players in the league. Well, that seems good. By the way, probably going to end up being the most embarrassing thing she's ever said in her entire life. In case you need to see this, Diana, here are the facts during a large part of your tenure. You chose a career, but you didn't have a following. That's kind of like getting a degree in science because you're a pro at something. Doesn't mean you get big money. Lots of pros make a lot less than you ever did, like golf course pros, teachers, and more. Here's Caitlin Clark is 100% of the WNBA period. The average salary player tenure in the league is 6 years. 10-year attendance in arenas, 9,000 average attendance now because of Caitlin Clark, 9,800. 2022, it was less than half of that. Less than half of that. I mean, these women are constantly whining and complaining about wanting more money. I mean, look, I also think it's cringe when NFL and NBA players do it. To keep it a buck, to keep it honest, keep it 100 with you. When NBA players who are making 120 million are whining about not making 150 million, that's also cringe. When they're sitting out, because you have like guaranteed contracts, like in baseball, for example. The NFL is a little bit different. Get your money if you're in the NFL. I understand that. But now they've taken the extreme measure. WA betting volume on dildos now surpasses betting on volume for who will win the games. That's more people are interested in whether or not someone's going to chuck a dong than whether or not they are going to win the game. More people are tuned into the dong throwing than the actual game. That is a undeniable fact. That's what the WNBA product is. WNBA now takes a extreme no bag policy to stop dildo throwers. Gee, I wonder how the women will get these items into the game to toss. If only, they're going to have to get creative. I think there's probably a few ways. Anyway, they now have a no bag policy has been implemented for tonight's game. Oh, by the way, to go back to the betting markets, 30,000 volume, right? What's to stop someone from, going on, August 11th, putting 100 grand into the buy market and then being the person tossing the dong? It's a pretty small ticket. You get banned from the stadium. You get, like a ticket for, I don't know, $100, $200, and you move on with your life. And now you have, you make $1 million. Anyway, tonight's WNBA game, organizers have introduced a strict no bag rule as a security measure aimed at preventing incidents involving spectators throwing inappropriate objects, specifically dildos, onto the court. This is, if you look at the tweet, it's amazing. Polymarket breaking no bag policy has been implemented for tonight's WNBA game to attempt to crack down. Bet Harry can get past at least 3 of your security guards. There's still a few places that people have managed to hide those things. Just saying. Named after LeBron James. I have some bad news about the storage capacity of dildo. Fans arriving at the gate. I'm gonna throw it on the court. How will you get it past security? I guess you could say, hey, they have, there's press, people are talking about it, but this is going to be a regular occurrence for weeks now. Weeks. There might be a break in the action, but I'm more interested in that than a lot of sports right now. Obviously, my Milwaukee Brewers are on a generational tear in baseball, but as a fan who, watched them way back in County Stadium, and has been watching their, great regular season runs, I've already switched to the let's get to postseason and hopefully maybe they'll win a series. So in the meantime, I'm all in on the dildo dailies. You also have, by the way, Here's the man that got arrested.
18-year-old Caden Lopez of Waddell attempted to throw a green sex toy onto the court, but it did not reach the court. Instead, it hit a 9-year-old girl and her uncle attending the game.
Oh, they're acting like that. Oh, they barely survived.
Lopez told police he purchased the sex toy the night before after seeing other incidents on social media.
Right.
Today, we heard from
hilarious.
Bell. He is the play-by-play voice of the Mercury, and he appeared today on Fox 10 Talks.
I don't know what's going on.
It's amazing.
It needs to stop.
No, it doesn't.
First and foremost, I think that's.
It's really inappropriate.
It's
inappropriate.
inappropriate.
It's also, it's putting people in danger.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Discuss that or not. These are athletes who are running, they're cutting, they're jumping.
Okay, that is a fair argument. They step on one of these things during the game, they could get injured. I'm not going to be totally disingenuous. That is a possibility. Just be careful with be responsible with your neon green dough throwing.
Exactly right. It's inappropriate
and very unhygienic.
Well, that's one of our topics today.
Unhygienic. Do these people actually think these are used? They're all very clearly brand new. Like, they're not used. Of course, the woman is the one that's like, oh, they must be used. They're getting used battery-operated boyfriends. What? The WNBA is and continues to be a hilarious joke. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. And we'll talk to you again real soon.